Road Bull 14 here. I wanted to try to get some background music in, but I never really found the only ways I could think about. Both of them decided to take a dump. Um, One, I was gonna play some music over the computer. Um, and that won't happen because for some reason I can do this, but I'm not connected to the internet. Something like that. So I think I probably have a virus. And my phone is just a dick. But I got something cool to show you guys. Yeah, how do you like it now? It's coming along, baby. It's getting better every day. Oh, and I got a root canal. I don't know if I already said that or not. All I know is I got a root canal, and I feel I feel nothing, and that's why I feel on top of the world because I have no tooth pain. And it was funny because I literally um I called a bunch of different dentists, and I like just in excruciating pain. Like, when can you get me in? And, oh, I'm sorry, but we can't get you in for another week and a half. Oh, gosh, so I called. Finally, I called. I got a hold of this place, and it was once I pulled the phone up to my ear, I could hear angels. And look, I am in excruciating pain. What is the absolute soonest you can get me in? When can you get here? So I got the root canal done on Friday because I got it done right before I went into work. And so uh but I got my order of shirts in from dippernation.com, and they do the shirts through Redneck Apparel, is it? Hold on. Nope. The apparel and stuff's done through Redneck Nation. Um, but just give you a good look at the gun. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put in my dip. Since this guy loves Copenhagen, I'm gonna put in some Copenhagen straight. Also, since I am ever so ecstatic about my steampunk airsoft gun coming along so well, um, the gums are still a little sore, so too much movement will like hit the gum and it's like, but it's not the pain that I was feeling before Friday, and just thank God. Um, so what I've done is I took a CO2 tank and I glued it underneath, painted it brass. Now, one thing I've had a couple people, there are very few that I work with that know what I'm talking about when I say steampunk, and they ask me, why did you use brass? Like, why are you doing a brass gun instead of a copper gun? Everybody does copper gun. And I said, well, I in a sense there is the little bit that I like to be a little different from everybody else. I try to be different. That's why, like, my when I do my Civil War reenacting, I try to have a few things that not everybody has. Like, for the longest time I had my kepi, and I had a clay pipe hung from my kepi, and unfortunately the clay pipe broke. But I need to get a, or I have It's like a necklace pocket watch. It's styled 1860s, and you don't see a lot of them. But just had a little musical twitch down. But so I'm doing brass more or less because me and three buddies got together a couple months ago, a little before Christmas, and we got together and we wanted to start a steampunk kind of group, if you will, that would ride around together and go to steampunk conventions. Well, the group never really happened. I can't even say it fell through because it never actually happened. But the the spirit of it is still here within me, and we named our group the Airship George Wayman. Now, I think I explained this in my first video, and that one got my first video of the gun, and that one got it never got uploaded, so that's why I'm explaining this again. If I am explaining it again, I'm sorry, but the reason we called it Airship George Wayman is because me, who started it, I was the captain of the ship, and my friend Mr. Gasser 94, which, by the way, I always say Rebel Wolf 14, and stupid Google Plus or whatever changed it to Aaron Dival, and I've been making videos, this is Rebel Wolf 14 here. No, it's not. It's Aaron Dival. One way or the other. It's fucking stupid. It shouldn't have never changed it. Pardon my language. But, okay. But either way, Airship George Wayman. For those that don't know, George Wayman started Copenhagen. If you look at a Copenhagen can, you can see the diamond with the CW. Now, it looks more like CW, and you always kind of assume that the C just stands for Copenhagen. Well, it does, but no one, it's kind of hard to figure out what W means unless you've learned it, which I learned it from watching Outlaw Dipper. The W actually stands for Wayman, because the name of the guy who invented Copenhagen was George Wayman, and that CW is actually WC for Wayman's Copenhagen. And me and my buddy both chewed Copenhagen. This was back when I chewed nothing but Copenhagen religiously. The only thing, if it wasn't Copenhagen, I was chewing Skull Mint. And believe me, ever since I heard about it, I've been waiting for Copenhagen Mint. If anybody knows anyone from Copenhagen, we gotta get Copenhagen Mint into Lower Pennsylvania, Southern Pennsylvania. Come on, guys. I'm fiending. I want it. I want it so bad. And I chew all different kinds of dip. There's literally not a dip that I will not try. That's cute. I just noticed that. Screw it. I'll leave it in anyway. I'm gonna look at it the whole time though. But so get some Copenhagen Mint into Southern Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, Southwestern Pennsylvania. And I'm trying to keep from stalling too long. That's another thing I'm trying to stop doing in my videos so much. But background music, better camera, stop stalling so much. They're on the list. But so either way, we named our airship George Wayman, and we drew up funny little plans. We were gonna get a van, I'll go in on a van and decorate it all steampunk, make it the airship George Wayman and cons and whatnot. Um, and of course, like I said, that never happened. So, um, I've never been to a steampunk con, and that's something I really, really want to do. Now, I think I've done a pretty good job with this. This was my first steampunk project. Um, and I've fallen in love with it. Like, if I would have looked at myself, if I would have watched this video a year ago and seen myself do this to this airsoft gun, I'd have flipped. But I've fallen head over heels for the steampunk like way. It's taken over me. Um, and I guess it also comes from working on the railroad, working around trains, and the first railroad. I've never actually been paid by the railroad, but I've worked for um I suppose I could say I'm not up there as much as I want to be, but I do. Me and a couple buddies, we usually try to make road trips up to the Bucks Cahuta and Western, um, and they let us, you know, help out with their equipment whenever we get up there. So, I mean, I guess you could say I've worked on their equipment. But as for regular working on railroad equipment, um, I spent a summer shoveling coal on a 1901 B4A Pennsylvania 643, and just I've always loved trains, and that's really where the steampunk thing's kind of stemming off of. Um, I've always had this love affair with trains that um, so many young boys and girls are affected with um, the railroad bug, as I've heard it been called, or foam, as it's more often called. So, um, I can't even remember how I found steampunk, but when I did, I mind blown. I absolutely fell in love with it. So anyone who is into steampunk, who goes to cons, um, goes to who dresses up, I really really like your advice on what I could do to really get full steam, but into steampunk. And if there's any steampunk fans in southwestern Pennsylvania, western Maryland, Virginia, um, who go to cons, um, maybe I could, you know, I don't want to say meet up with you or anything, but maybe we could email, or you could email me or something. Just leave a comment on the video, and we could talk about meeting up at a con or something. And I'd really like to get as much help as I can because I really want to do this right. It's kind of like reenacting. When I first started in reenacting, the first thing the guys told me was, do not buy anything unless I take it to them first. And that's why my uniforms from the get go were period correct, because these guys helped me out. They made sure I didn't do anything stupid, and that's the thing. I don't want to show up at a steampunk convention and look like an idiot. Um, Now, the whole reason this life story got started, why am I doing brass instead of copper? Um, when me and my buddies started the airship George Wayman, I was the captain. And the way I figured it, the captain would get a brass gun and the rest of the crew would get copper guns. Um, Now, airship George Wayman is not a military ship. In the fashion of its name, it is a tobacco freight ship, like moving tobacco around. So, we didn't really want to go for a military ship. I fought for my life to try to get it to be a passenger ship, but as it was brought up to do a passenger ship would be kind of hard, so we did a freighter that ships tobacco. Um, so that's more or less all I really have for this video. It's getting late. I want to try to get to bed. Gotta get up. Gotta make some phone calls and get into work. So, and as always, everything still works. I don't have a CO2 cartridge in it. That's why it's not popping. But I took out the tube I was using to test it after I initially modified it to make sure none of the paint got in or anything. It still shot. It worked just fine. So I took the everything still comes out just fine. So if anybody has any tips on how to help me get started in steampunk, let me know in the comments. I would like to run out tomorrow and get like a yoga mat or something, and just make my first top hat. And the one reason I really want to go kind of cheapo style on the top hat is I don't want the top hat to be something I wear all the time because I will be an airship captain. Now, if I decide not to be an airship captain and I decide to just walk around as a gentleman or whatever, then yes, of course, I will eventually get a nice top hat. But if I get something, I generally try to make it nice. That's why I didn't go with a Nerf gun. I went with a nice metal CO2 airsoft gun. So I'll probably end up going to Dirty Billy's in Gettysburg and paying $300 for a top hat. Okay, maybe not that much, but I've seen them range up to that if it's a really, really good hat, and that's the thing. I like to be very presentable. But I would like to find like a naval captain hat of the Edwardian era thereabouts and find the uniform and steampunk the uniform. Like I want to have goggles that like come down from the bill of the top hat. Things like that. I want to have on my arm. I was thinking it'd be kind of cool to have like a little um uh what am I looking for? Spyglass, like a captain spyglass, whatever. That I can flip, retract. Just neat stuff. That again, I'd really like to get some input on how I can do my best, and make it look good. But so other than that, this is Rebel Bull. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the night, get some sleep. And in the meantime, dip fresh, keep her classy, and always remember to thank a veteran whenever you get a chance. It's not that hard to do. I say that in every video, and I know I blow through that very fast. But of all the things that I say in my video, I really think that I am the most serious when I say thank a veteran when you get the chance. These men and women fought. They might have lost friends. They went through miserable hells to give you and I the freedom that we love so much. And while I don Confederate flags more than a United States flag, I really do love the country that I live in, and there really isn't another country in the world that I would rather live in. And none of that would be possible without these men and women fighting, knowing each day that they might lose their lives. And they get my utmost respect for what they do for us. And so it doesn't take a lot. I try to do it whenever I can, whenever I'm walking through the mall or something, or whenever I'm doing anything and I see somebody with a veteran hat. I just stop them and say, hey, I saw your hat. Did you serve? Yes. Well, thank you. That's all it takes. and I know from experience when I first started, I almost thought, oh, well, I mean, maybe I'll look, kind of goofy. This guy doesn't know me. Why would he care about me? But I've never had anyone reply badly to that. So just say thank you whenever you get a chance. They really appreciate it, and at least whoever I've said it to. So on that note, get fresh, keep it classy, and always thank a veteran when you get the chance. So with that, this is Rebel Bull signing off. Um, you guys have a good night. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.